Gaṅgā Gandharva Giridhari Śrī Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai. Śrī Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki jai. Nityal Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Nārāyaṇ Gosai Maharaj Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Nityal Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Vishnu Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Vishnu Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityal Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Śrī Rupa Anugaurya Guru Varga ki jai. Śrī Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Śrī Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Śrāda Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Śrī Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Śrī Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय. सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय. श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय. श्री मुन देवी गंगा देवी की जय. श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जय. श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय. श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. और श्री सीता ठाकुरानी की जय. अद्वैत आचार्य शक्ति सीता ठाकुरानी की जय. तृतीय शुभ आविर्भाव तिथि की जय. श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Hare Krishna, Nri Hari Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. And let's see who else is. Oh, 1 second. Restream. Oh, and Hari Bol, Raseshwari Mataji. Alright, so, I guess we'll continue singing from, what is it? From Mana Shiksha, the Mana Shiksha songs by Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So I'll share my screen here and let's find this. Okay. So verse 2 of Mana Shiksha. Na dharmam Shruti gana niruktam kila kuru Vraje Radha Krishna Prachura Paricharyam Prachura Paricharyam Ihatanu Shachi Sunong Nandishwarapati Sutatve Guruvaram Mukunda Preshtatve Smara Paramajasram Nanumanam. Mana Shiksha by Śrīla Raghunath Das Goswami. O mind, please do not perform dharma resulting in piety or adharma resulting in sin, as mentioned in the Shrutis or Vedas. Rather, you should render profuse loving service to Shri Radha Krishna here in Vraj. Always remember Shri Shachinandan as non-different from Shri Nandanandan and Shri Gurudev as most dear to Shri Mukunda. Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu. And he offers his pranam to all the assembled devotees. So now we will sing this song by Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Thakur. I'll read the translation first. Whatever is praised so much in the Vedas as being dharma, and whatever is condemned as being adharma, engage in none of it. Leaving aside dharma and adharma, develop attachment for this esoteric topic. O mind, clutching your feet, I beg you to abandon all this dharma and adharma and reside in Vraj and devote yourself to the service of the divine couple. Worship the treasure of Śrī Sachinandan and Śrī Nandanandan together as one. O mind, know Śrī Gurudev to be very dear to Śrī Mukunda. For your sake, he has become Patita Pavana, the savior of the fallen. He has manifested in this world, my dear brother mind. Except for him, except for Śrī Gurudev, there is no other refuge if you desire your own well-being. Grasping his feet and always remembering his instructions, Bhakti Vinod beseeches you to please give him strength. So this is like another Gurudev Kirtan by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur that we don't really think of as a song to sing for Shri Guru. Like the last 3 verses are for Guru. Okay. And we'll just sing it all together. I'm not going to do lead in response. Dharma boli vede jare ete ka prashangsa kore adharma boli anende jare taha kichu nahi karo dharma dharma parihara Bhakti Shri Sita Ṭhākurani ki jai. Jai Shri Mana Shiksha ki jai. Jai Shri Raghunath Das Goswami Pad ki jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Gurudev ki jai. Alright, so I guess we'll do the Mangala Charan now and then begin our reading. Let me just see who is there. Okay, it's right here. Okay, and Haribol Prajumna Prabhu and Mantra Murti Mataji and Champak Didi Hare Krishna. Okay. Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Where's the Chaitanya Bhagavat Mangala Charan? So weird, I lost it. Oh, there. Let's start over. Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ajanulambita Bhujo Kanakavadato Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya-taksho Vishwambharo Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha. Avatirno Sakarunyo Parichinno Sarishvaro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Dvau Bhrataro Bhaje. Sajayati Vishuddha Vikrama Kanakabha Kamalaya Tekshana Varajanu Vilambishar Bhujo Bahudha Bhakti Rasa Bhinartaka. Jayati Jayati Deva Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirtis Tasya Nitya Pavitra. Jayati Jayati Bhrityas Tasya Vishveshamurte. Jayati Jayati Nrityang Tasya Sarva Priyanam. Adya Shri Chaitanya Priya Goshtir Charane Ashesha Prakare Mor Danda Paraname. Tabe Bando Shri Krishna Chaitanya Maheshwar Navadvipe Avatar Nama Vishwambhar. Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvam Nayamang Charanantikam. Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Kshiptashtaka Ditaranga Madhe Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita-candra Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ore mura loka shuno Chaitanya Mangal. Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Beshakal. Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Vyas. Chaitanya Lila Vyas Vrindavana Das. Vrindavana Dasa Koilo Chaitanya Mangal. Jahara Shravane Nashe Sarvaya Mangal. Chaitanya Nitar Jate Janiye Mahima. Jate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhanter Sima. O Bhagavate Jatta Bhakti Siddhanter Sar. Likhiya Chen Iha Jani Koriya Udhar. Chaitanya Mangal Shune Jadi Pashandi Javan. Sheho Maha Vaishnava Hoy Tattva Amanushe Rachite Nare Aiche Granta Dhanya Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Bhakta Shri Chaitanya. Vrindavana Dasa Pade Koti Namaskar. Aiche Granta Korite Motarila Samsar. Nārāyaṇ Chaitanya Uchishta Bhajan. Tar Garbhe Janmila Shridasa Vrindavan. Tar Ki Arbhuta Chaitanya Charita Varnan. Jahara Shravane Shuddha Koilo Tribhuvan. Sahaje Vichitra Madhur Chaitanya Vihar. Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amrite Dhar. Vrindavana Dasa Mukhe Amrite Dhar. By nature, all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet, and when they are described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. The Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hari Bol Kishore Prabhu. So, I didn't get a chance to check yet. I'm just looking now if Shri Sita Ṭhākurani is in this book, Gaur Parashad Charitavali, Shri Chaitanya and his associates, by Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami. Let's just see. I'm looking through the list. Vishnu Priya Devi, Abhiram Thakur, Saranga Thakur. Doesn't look like she's in here. Wait. Let's see. Nope. I don't see Sita Ṭhākurani. Let me type in her name actually. I should have done that in the beginning. Sita. There's just this from Gaṅgā. Yogamaya Bhagavati Grihini Tasya Sampraptam Advaitasya Sampratam Sita Rupena Vatirna Shri Namna Tat Prakashataha. So that means the goddess Yogamaya appeared as Advaita Acharya's wife, Sita, whose expansion was Shri. Okay, so Sita Ṭhākurani is Yogamaya. Wow. Oh, then maybe we can sing, how does it go? Amar Samanhina, Nahiye Sangsare for Sita Devi today. And let's see, where is it? Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani website. Let's see if Srila Bhaktivigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj has anything. vcvani.com. I mean, the two stories that come to mind right now are, well, one is, Sita Ṭhākurani giving the name Nimai and bringing all those gifts and everybody honoring her. She was like the main guest of honor and Mahaprabhu's appearance. And also the story of when Advaita Acharya was starting to propagate Advaitavadi philosophy, and then Mahaprabhu was so upset, and he went there and he started beating Advaita Acharya, and Sita Ṭhākurani said, "Don't beat this old man. You want to," but let's see. But yeah, I don't see anything here. Yeah. All right. So then, let's do that. Let's sing Amar Samani. Actually, we'll do that at the end. I think for now we can just go to our Chaitanya Bhagavat reading, and then at the end we can. And if Kishore has anything that he wants to share about Sita Ṭhākurani, that would be most welcome. Okay. There it is. Chapter 14, the Lord's travel to East Bengal and the disappearance of Lakṣmī Priya. Kishore, would you like to do the recap, or should I just read?
You can read it. I'm
Okay.
putting on tilak right now, actually.
Okay. So I'm just skipping ahead. Nimai Pandit was greatly honored by the wealthy people of Navadip, as well as by all those who were accustomed to perform religious rituals. Yeah, so we read about how Nimai and that his household, they gave very much honor to guests, and Nimai was getting so many different things from all different the rich people, and also just very pious people who wanted to do, like they would give him so much different items like bhog and things, and then Nimai would distribute everything to the poor and needy. And they gave so much honor to guests, especially sannyasis. As soon as Mother Shachi noticed a shortage of ingredients required for feeding the sannyasis, because he'd invite sometimes 10 to 20 sannyasis, then Gaurasundar would immediately bring from somewhere the necessary ingredients for the service of the Vaishnavas. Lakshmi Devi engaged in cooking for the service of the Vaishnavas, and the Lord personally sat with the Vaishnav sannyasis and fully satisfied them by feeding them sumptuously. The principal duty of householders is to serve guests. Those householders who do not serve guests are lower than animals and birds. Even if yes, you're not an animal and bird. I'm staying at a friend's house and he just gave me some cashews and dried fruits just when I said that sentence. Even if a householder is bereft of wealth due to past karma, he should without duplicity serve his guests with at least some water, a sitting place, and sweet words. Knowing that Sri Lakshmi Narayan had appeared in Navadip, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Shukadev, Vyasadeva, and Narad visited the Lord's house at Sri Mayapur in the guise of sannyasis. From early morning, Sri Lakshmi Devi continually engaged in various services in the temple room. She arranged the paraphernalia for worshipping the Lord, and she served Tulsi. She gave more attention to the service of Shachi Devi, her mother-in-law and the mother of her Lord, than to service of Tulsi. Shachi Devi sometimes saw blazing flames of fire under the feet of her son, and she sometimes smelled the fragrance of lotus flowers throughout her house. So that's what we read the day before yesterday, and then yesterday we read, after some time, Nimai Pandit went with his students to earn some wealth in Bangladesh, where he stayed on the banks of the Padmavati River. Overwhelmed by the Lord's ingenious scholarship, innumerable students came to study from him, and within a short time, they mastered various subjects. At this point, the author says that simply because the Lord went to Bangladesh, the young, the old, and the women there are even today intoxicated in Sri Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. But sometimes, in order to fill their stomachs, some atheists declare themselves to be Nārāyaṇ, or the Supreme Lord, and they thus ruin the people of that country. In the Rādadesh, also, there was a great Brahman Daitya who externally dressed as a Brahman, but who internally had the nature of a demon and declared himself to be Gopal. And what did all the people call him? What is it? He called himself Gopal, but the people called him, how do you say it? Jackal? Shial.
Yeah.
Shial. Due to his cowardliness, however, the people called him a hated jackal. Not any jackal, a hated jackal. There are no greater offenders than those living entities who want to declare themselves or other living entities to be the Supreme Lord, instead of declaring Sri Chaitanya, the Lord of innumerable universes, as the Supreme Lord. Moreover, even today it is found that simply by remembering the servants of Śrī Advaita-candra, a living entity attains all auspiciousness. While the Lord was residing in Bangladesh, Sri Lakṣmī Devi, being unable to tolerate separation from the Lord, left this world from the bank of the Gaṅgā while meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. So that's what we're going to be reading about today. And actually in today's reading, we're just going to read like 4 verses, and then there's Gaudiya Bhashya, a commentary by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that goes, it's like 8,000 words. We usually read about 5,000 words every day, and this one commentary is about 8,000 words. So we're just going to read part of the commentary, and we'll finish the commentary tomorrow. What verse is that? Oops. 1 second. Okay, so we're reading from 99 to 104. Oh, Dandavat Pranams! Sajan Maharaj, Haribol. Hare Krishna. And also Prajumna Prabhu and Mantaramurti Mataji. Yeah, I didn't know that Sita Ṭhākurani was Purnamasi Yogamaya. That's really interesting. So we'll sing Amar Samanhina at the end of this reading. What am I doing? What happened? Okay. 99. Okay. Okay, I'm just reading the last few verses. In this way, Sri Gaurachandra, the Lord of Vaikuntha, happily enjoyed his scholastic pastimes in East Bengal. The Lord attracted a large number of students in East Bengal, and he would often wander on the banks of the Padmavati river. He had thousands and thousands of students there, so it is difficult to know who studied with whom. People from all over East Bengal came rushing to study under Nimai Pandit. The Lord taught them in such a merciful way that within 2 months, everyone became learned. Hundreds of students received titles and returned home, and hearing about this, many new students joined. In this way, the Lord of Vaikuntha enjoyed scholastic pastimes while staying in East Bengal. Meanwhile, okay, so that's where we read up to. Etha navadvipe Lakṣmī prabhur virahe antare dukhita devi kare nahi kohe. Meanwhile, in Navadvip, Lakṣmī was in great distress due to separation from the Lord. She did not reveal this to anyone. Gaudiya Bhashya. While Nimai was engaged in his scholastic pastimes in East Bengal, Lakṣmī Priya Devi in Navadvip became extremely grief-stricken out of separation from her worshipable Lord. She did not, however, disclose her confidential internal distress to anyone. In her daily activities, it was seen that apart from serving the Lord's mother, or her mother-in-law, she did not even take a morsel of Vishnu Prasad in order to maintain her body. She used to sit alone in a solitary place and simply shed tears. She did not feel any happiness at heart. Ultimately, due to separation from Gaur Nārāyaṇ, her beloved husband who was more dear to her than her life, Lakṣmī, Lakṣmī Priya Devi, the crest jewel of chaste women, became so impatient that out of extreme anxiety, she resolved to depart in order to serve her husband. She kept her replica body, or her shadow form, on the bank of the Gaṅgā in this world, and she disappeared from the eyes of the people in her original form as Lakṣmī. She attained samadhi while meditating on the lotus feet of her worshipable husband, Śrī Nārāyaṇ. Lakṣmī, Lakṣmī Priya Devi, the crest jewel of chaste women, departed forever. Niravadi kore Devi air sevan, Prabhu ki achen hoite nahi ko bhojan. She kept always engaged in the service of Mother Shachi without eating anything since the Lord's departure. Nameshe annamatra parigraha kore, Ishvara vichede boro dukhita antare. She accepted some rice only in name, for she was deeply distressed in separation from the Lord. Ekeshvara sarvaratri koren krandan, chitte swastya Lakṣmī na payen konakhan. She passed the nights alone, crying incessantly. Her heart found no relief for even a moment. Ishvara vicheda Lakṣmī na pare sahite, Icha korilen prabhur samipe jaite. Eventually, Lakṣmī could no longer tolerate separation from the Lord, and she desired to go join him. Nija pratikriti deha tui pritivite, chalilen prabhu pashe ati alakhite. Lakṣmī left a replica body on the bank of the Gaṅgā in this world and went invisibly to the side of the Lord. So let's reread this translation, because this is the verse that has an 8,000 word commentary on it. It's like 2 days worth of reading commentary, worth of commentary. Lakṣmī left a replica body on the bank of the Gaṅgā in this world, and she went invisibly to the side of the Lord. Chalilen Prabhu Pashe Ati Alakite. Okay, Gaudiya Bhashya. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, I'm going to bold words that are prominent. And then for tomorrow, then we can come back and read this. So, in the Śrī Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 16, verses 20 to 21, it is stated, because the Lord was engaged in various ways in preaching work in East Bengal, his wife, Lakṣmī Devi, was very unhappy at home in separation from her husband. The snake of separation bit Lakṣmī Devi, and its poison caused her death. Thus she passed to the next world. She went back home, back to Godhead. The replica body and disappearance of Lakṣmī Devi are explained as follows. Śrī Lakṣmī Priya Devi is the internal spiritual potency of Gaur Nārāyaṇ, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lakṣmī is described in the Gaur Ganodashtipika, verse 45, as follows. She who previously appeared as Śrī Janaki, Rukmini, and Lakṣmī has now appeared as Lakṣmī in the pastimes of Śrī Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the Sanskrit book, Chaitanya Charitamrita Mahakavya, chapter 3, verse 7 and verse 13, it is stated, "This Lakṣmī of Navadip is the incarnation of that Lakṣmī of Vaikuntha." And it says, Lakṣmī has personally incarnated in this world. While describing Mahalakshmi, Krishna's queens, and the gopis of Raj, Sri Jiva Prabhupada has stated in his Sri Krishna Sandarbha, in the second Bhagavat Sandarbha, the Bhagavat Sandarbha, it has been established that the Lord is a supreme absolute truth and that he has two energies. Of the two, the first is related to the Lord as his internal potency and is as worshipable to the Vaishnavas as the Lord himself. The Supreme Lord's supreme position is due to this Sarup Shakti. The second, Maya, is fit like the material world to be neglected by the Vaishnavas. She is the transformation of the Lord's energy. The manifestation of the world is due to this Bahiranga Maya Shakti, or the illusory external energy. Of these two potencies, the word Lakshmi is used to indicate the former, the Sarup Shakti, just as the word Bhagavat is used to indicate the person who possesses these two energies. This is also clearly shown in the Bhagavat Sandarbha. In the two cities, Mathura and Dwarka, this Sarup Shakti is known as Shri Mahishi, the queens of Krishna. Since it is clearly stated in the Gopal Tapani Upanishad that in the Lord's unmanifest pastimes, Shri Rukmini eternally resides in Mathura, all other queens must also reside there. It is also stated therein that the queens of Krishna are also related to him as belonging to the category of his Sarup Shakti. Therefore, in their position as Sarup Shakti, they are necessarily of the same position as Lakshmi. In this way, the queens of Krishna are naturally confirmed as belonging to the Lord's Sarup Shakti. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:69, it is stated, "The Lord assumes various forms to enact his pastimes, and he was pleased that the form that the goddess of fortune Rukmini had assumed was just suitable for her to serve as his consort." The meaning of this verse is very clear. Therefore, since Rukmini assumed a form suitable to serve the Lord, she is certainly on the level of Lakshmi. And since Lakshmi, who is famous as the goddess of Vaikuntha, is merged within Rukmini, Mahalakshmi Rukmini has the internal mood of Lakshmi and is complete in every respect. Because the spiritual energy, or the Sarup Shakti, and the energetic, or the Shaktiman, are completely free of differences, since they are completely non-different, there cannot be any relationship between them as found between a subject and object of comparison. Therefore, between them there is an absence of similarity, as in the difference between an actual object and its shadow or reflection. Or in other words, they are non-different or one. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:60-44, Rukmini personally speaks the following words. Rukmini says, "O lotus-eyed one, though you are satisfied within yourself and thus rarely turn your attention toward me, please bless me with steady love for your feet." In this statement, Rukmini is removing Krishna's doubt or objection. If you say, "I am personally self-satisfied, so how can I give attachment? So how can I have attachment for you?" In reply, I say that your vision is indifferent. In other words, though you are omnipotent, you look at me, your Sarup Shakti, and you look at me and yourself as inseparable. You look at me, who are your Sarup Shakti, and you look at yourself as inseparable. The purport is that since the Sarup Shakti and the Shaktiman are inseparable, or non-different, or they are constitutionally non-different because their only distinction is their constitutional relationship as Vishaya and Ashray, the enjoyer and the enjoyed. Therefore, even though you're Atmaram, your attachment for me is proper. Yeah, Atmaram means completely satisfied in the self, and we are one. So you're completely satisfied with me. In the Vishnu Puran 1.8.15, it is stated, Nityaiva sa Jaganmata Vishnu Shrir Anapayini Yatha Sarva Gato Vishnus Tathaivyayam Dvijottamaha. O best of Brahmanas, Lord Vishnu's Swarup Shakti is the eternal mother of the universe. She is never separated from Vishnu. Just as Lord Vishnu is present everywhere, his Swarup Shakti, Lakṣmī, is also present everywhere. Also in the Vishnu Puran 1.9.143, it is said, Devatve devadeheyam manushyatve cha manushi Vishnur dehanurupam vai karote shatmanastanu. When the Lord appears as a demigod, she, the goddess of fortune, takes the form of a demigoddess. And when he appears as a human being, she takes a human-like form. Thus, she assumes a body corresponding to that accepted by Lord Vishnu in order to assist in his pastimes. In his commentary on Brahma Sutra 2.3.10, Śrī Madhvacharya quotes the following verse from the Bhagavad Tantra. Shakti Shakti Matoschapi Na Vibheda Kathanchana Avibhinnapi Svechadi Bhedar Api Vibhavyate. There is no actual difference between the energy and the energetic, but sometimes, out of his own sweet will, they appear different. The Vishnu Samhita says, Shakti Shakti Matoschapi Nabheda Kaschid Ishyate. There is certainly no difference between the energy and the energetic. From such scriptural statements, we can understand that the energetic Vishnu and his related Swarup Shakti are non-different. The external illusory energy, or material nature, is the subordinate shadow of this Swarup Shakti, Lakṣmī. And the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.23, Arjuna speaks to Krishna as follows. You have cast away the effects of the material energy by dint of your spiritual potency, or Swarup Shakti. You are always situated in eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge. Therefore, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, which are transformations of the three modes of material nature, passion, goodness, and ignorance, can never attack Lord Vishnu. His related Swarup Shakti, or his opulences, such as his abode and associates, because there is no difference between their bodies and souls, like there's no difference between their bodies and souls, like there is in the living entities, who are controlled by Maya and forced to enjoy the fruits of their karma. They are all transcendental and beyond the jurisdiction of Maya, untouched by the modes of material nature, eternally pure and spiritual. Shri Krishna Sandarbha 93 quotes Srimad Vacharyapad's Bhagavat Tatparya commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 131 as follows. The Tantra Bhagavat states, Agrenar vyasrijacheti Krishna Ramadikam tanum Patyate Bhagavani sho Mura buddhi vyapekshaya. The scriptural statements that the Supreme Lord has accepted and given up bodies in his incarnations, such as Krishna and Ram, are mentioned simply to satisfy the mentality of foolish people. In the Varaha Purana, it is stated, Natasya prakrita murtir mangsha medhosti sambhava na yogitvar ishvaratvat satyarupo chuto vibhu. The Supreme Lord and his Swarup Shakti do not possess material forms made of flesh, bones, and marrow. His transcendental form, however, is not the result of mystic perfections, since he is directly the personality of Godhead. For, since he is directly the personality of Godhead, his form is eternal, infallible, and supreme. That's from the Vishnu Purana. Okay. Hare Krishna Subhadra Didi. In the Mahavaraha Purana, it is stated, everything related to the Supreme Lord Vishnu, beginning with his body, is everlasting and eternal, devoid of both material purity and impurity. And it is never born of matter. In other words, they are not material. They are objects of fully uninterrupted bliss and completely spiritual. They are all full of transcendental qualities and non-different from one another. Due to possessing all qualities, they are fully devoid of superiority and inferiority in relationship with each other. There is never a difference between the body and soul of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. But when we hear statements that Lord Vishnu accepted a body, it is like an actor taking on another hand to protect his body in a drama. Although Lord Vishnu, who is beyond material perception, appears and disappears, statements like his form of Krishna, his form of Ram, these kinds of statements where it's referring to his form, they are applicable to him alone, because he possesses unadulterated spiritual opulences. In the Kurma Puran, it is stated, although the Supreme Lord is neither gigantic nor infinitesimal, he is completely gigantic and infinitesimal. Although the Lord appears contradictory due to possessing spiritual opulences, it is improper to attribute any type of mundane faults on the Supreme Lord. Yet, even though apparent contradictory qualities are seen through material perception, one will have to understand that they are inconceivably reconciled in him. In the Vishnu Dharmottara, it is stated, because the Supreme Lord Purushottam possesses all opulences, all transcendental qualities are found in him. But faults cannot in any way be applied on him, because he is the supreme object. Some foolish persons conclude that both qualities and faults are received from or attributed by Maya. In answer to this, it is stated that since there is no Maya or connection with Maya in the Absolute Truth, how then can qualities related with Maya be present? Therefore, the transcendental qualities of the Lord are not received from or attributed by Maya. They are born of his opulences. Because he is the faultless Nirasta Kuhakam Aprakrita, the transcendental dissipator of illusion, since he is the faultless controller, learned scholars know him as the supreme object. The doubt raised by foolish materialists who are bewildered by Maya, that Mahalakshmi Śrī Lakṣmī Devi, who is the Swarup Shakti of Gaur Nārāyaṇ, left her body due to being bitten by the snake like a conditioned soul, is properly cleared. This doubt is properly cleared by Śrīmad Bhagavatam, the crest jewel of scriptures, and the acharyas who follow Śrīmad Bhagavatam in their descriptions of Krishna's past disappearance. In the Śrīmad Bhagavatam 1.14.8, Yudhishthira speaks to Bhimasena as follows. Yadatmanongam akridam bhagavan God, this is a hard word. Utsisrikshati. There. Has the time come for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to quit his earthly pastimes? The word angam in this verse means earth. In the Brahmatarka it is stated, Yada tyagadiruchita prittivadyanga kalpana tada geya nahi svangam kadachid vishnurutsrajet. When the scriptures use words like give up in connection with the disappearance of the Lord, it refers to the earth, because Lord Vishnu never gives up his own limb. He just might leave the earth. That's from Śrī Madhvacharya's Bhagavad Tatparya. The word akrida refers to the place of pastimes, or in other words, this material world. The word anga means his own land, because the earth is his body, and this is from Vijayadvaj, and other scriptural statements are evidence of this fact. Okay, so the word anga means his own land, because the earth is his body. Alright. Now this is from Sridhar Swamipad's commentary. He says, on this verse from Srimad Bhagavat, from where? Okay. I just want to see again. Okay, so this is all the commentaries on the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 14, verse 8. I think. Okay, so Sridhar Swamipad says, otherwise, this means, this is Sridhar Swami, when will the Supreme Lord desire to give up his own pastimes? Or in other words, give up the anga that assists in his pastimes. Or in other words, give up the drama of a human interacting the activities of a human being in the material world. Has that time arrived? That's what Yudhishthira Maharaj was asking. Now this is from the Krama Sandarbha. The word anga refers to the mundane universal form rejected while returning to his own abode. That's from the Krama Sandarbha. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, verses 34 to 36, Sri Sutta Goswami speaks to the sages headed by Shaunaka as follows. Ya ya harad bhuvo bharam tang tanung vijaha vyaja kantakam kantakeneva dvyayam chapi shito samam yatha matsyadi rupani dhatte jahyad yatha nata bhubhara shapito yena jaho tachcha kalevaram yada mukundo bhagavani mamahim jaho swatanva shravaniya satkata tada harevat pratibhuddha chetasam abhadra hetu kaliranvavartata. The Supreme Unborn Lord Shri Krishna caused the members of the Yadu dynasty to relinquish their bodies, and thus he relieves the burden of the world. This action was like picking out a thorn with a thorn, though both are the same to the controller. The Supreme Lord relinquished the body which he manifested to diminish the burden of the earth, just like a magician. And, just like a magician, he relinquishes one body to accept different ones, like the fish incarnation and others. When the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, left this earthly planet in his self-same form, not understanding, I'm just saying where this is all from Sridhar Swamipad. Not understanding the distinction between the Supreme Lord and the Yadavas, those who are not eternal associates of the Lord but ordinary mortal beings, foolish materialistic persons consider them equal. Sri Sutta Goswami is clearly establishing a distinction between them in these two verses, the verse 2 quoted above. The word yaya indicates that the Lord diminished the burden of the earth, just as a thorn is taken out with another thorn. Yeah, so this word yaya indicates that the Lord diminished the burden of the earth through the bodies of the Yadavas, who are equal to ordinary mortal beings who are bewildered by Maya. Since both the bodies of the Yadavas and the bodies of those who are burdening the earth were eligible for being destroyed by the Lord, both are equal. In other words, both are material. How the Lord accepts and gives up forms, gives up bodies, such as Matsya, is being described with the following example. Just as an actor, while remaining in his original form, accepts and gives up another form, similarly, the Supreme Lord also gave up that form, which was visible to the mundane eyes, and he manifested his original transcendental form. Since the Lord returns to Vaikuntha with his self-same body, it is understood that he left this world with that same body. That's from Sridhar Swamipad. In other words, in the 3 Srimad Bhagavatam verses quoted above, the 3 words Tanu, Rupa, and Kolevar refer to the Lord's 2 sentiments. That is, 1, his desire to diminish the burden of the earth, and 2, his desire to maintain the demigods. They do not refer to his body. Similarly, in other verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3:20 verses 28 to 39, 41, 46, and 47, these words indicate Brahma's sentiments, not body. If one accepts this explanation regarding Lord Brahma, then it is also proper to accept this in regard to the Supreme Lord. Since these sentiments of the Lord are not his own or actual, but they are abhas-rupa, or indications of his form, therefore the example of a thorn is appropriate. In other words, for a person who wishes to remove a thorn, both the embedded thorn and the extricating thorn are the same. Similarly, the bodies of those who are burdening the earth, or the gigantic universal form, and the bodies of the Yadavas, whose bodies were similar to those of ordinary mortal beings, were the same. They were the same for the Supreme Lord. An elaborate description in this regard is found in the 3rd Paramatma Sandarbha. In incarnations such as Matsya, the words Matsyadi Rupa refer to the sentiment of desiring to kill the demons. Just as actors, while remaining in their original dress, accept and give up sentiments as either the hero or the heroine. Sorry, I need to stand up. I'm getting too comfortable. Okay, let me reread that because I was not at all focused when I was reading this. In incarnations such as Matsya, the words Matsyadi Rupa refer to the sentiment of desiring to kill the demons. Just as actors, while remaining in their original dress, accept and give up sentiments as either hero or heroine, similarly, one should know that the same also applies to the Supreme Lord. And otherwise, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 25 states, I am covered by Yoga Maya and not exposed to anyone and everyone. Padma Purana Uttarkhanda, that's Yoga Maya Samamritam, right? Padma Purana Uttarkhanda states, the yogis see Lord Janardhan on the strength of their devotional service. He never appears before those on the non-devotional path. No one who is angry or envious can see him. And then Srimad Bhagavatam, it states, to the wrestlers, Krishna, that's a famous verse. Malinam, I forgot how it starts. Anyways. To the wrestlers, Krishna appeared as a thunderbolt. These conclusive statements confirm that the form manifested by the Supreme Lord before the demons is not his original form, but an illusory form. If one sees the original form of the Lord, his envious nature is destroyed. Therefore, in order to diminish the burden of the earth, the Supreme Lord gave up only that form by which he annihilated the demons. He did not appear again in that form. The form of the Lord that is seen through the medium of devotion is Nitya Siddha, eternally perfect. That is why the word aja is used. Therefore, as an actor or magician dressed as a fish to kill the crane that eats fish. Therefore, that's why as an actor or a magician takes the form of a fish in order to create an impression in the minds of people that he is a fish. And as soon as the crane is killed, he immediately gives up the temporary form of a fish. Similarly, although Lord Krishna Chandra is Aja, he is devoid of birth like ordinary living entities. He killed the demons to diminish the burden of the earth with his illusory form manifested before the mundane vision of the materialists. After killing these demons, he, the unborn Lord, he also gave up his mundane illusory form. But the previously mentioned statement of Bhagavad Gita 7.25, Yoga Maya Samavrita, actually means his body is covered by a reflection of the illusory energy, just as a snake is covered by its skin. In this place, the Lord's pastime of leaving earth was performed by his own form. In other words, the word swatanva, his body, has been used in the third line, or the instrumental case. He did not leave earth with his own form. In other words, the third case of the word swatanva does not mean saha, or with. This is the proper explanation. For since the word saha is not found in the original verse, if one unnecessarily supplies ellipsis, which would destroy the consistent meaning, then a prominence will be given to the epileptical word. In particular, cases such as nominative, objective, and instrumental are more specific than when secondary words like saha are used to produce a compound word. This is grammatical knowledge and is also evidence in this regard. That's from Srila Jiva Goswami's Kama Sandarbha. Let's see what we're going to be reading now. Oh. Okay, so now we're reading Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, I'm guessing? No, there's no double quotation. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Okay, so this is from the Sarata Darshini commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. In order to solace the sages headed by Shaunaka, who were morose after hearing about the pathetic demise of the Yadavas and other Kshatriyas, Sri Sutta Goswami recited the confidential conclusions in these two verses. Just as a thorn is taken out with another thorn, in the same way the Lord gave up only the Yadava form by which he diminished the burden of the earth, which is part of his 1/4 opulences. Just as Devadatta gives up his own dress, the Lord separated his Yadava form from his own association. But the Lord did not give up. Did not give up the form with which he eternally enjoys pastimes. No. Therefore, the demigods who had entered among the eternally liberated Yadavas when the Lord appeared in this world were separate. They were separated from the Yadavas by the Lord, and they were sent to Prabhas. Later on, by the strength of his illusory energy, the Lord orchestrated their deaths before the eyes of the people, and thereafter transformed them into demigods by giving them honey to drink, and he sent them to heaven. This explanation is found in the last parts of the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Yadavas, who were eternal associates in Krishna's pastimes, remained hidden from materialistic people, and they continued sporting with Krishna in Dwarka, as in their previous unmanifest pastimes. This conclusion should be known from Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It states, the bodies of those who were burdening the earth and the bodies of the Yadavas the bodies of the Yadavas mean the bodies of the demons who are burdening the earth. Wait, I didn't understand that. The bodies of those who are burdening the earth and the bodies of the Yadavas, these two things mean the bodies of the demons who were burdening the earth, and the bodies of those demigods who appeared as Yadavas and others, both of whom were equal to the Supreme Lord. But though in the present example of thorns both are equal, the extricating thorn, by which the embedded thorn is taken out, is karana bhuta. It is the instrumental. Okay, so karana bhuta, or instrumental. Let me reread that. Sorry, guys. But though in the present example of thorns both are equal, the extricating thorn, by which is the karana bhuta, or instrumental, and therefore is beneficial and known as antaranga, or intimate, and comparatively more relishable, while the karma bhuta, or the active thorn, since it is embedded, it is to be extricated. This is unbeneficial and known as bahiranga, or inimical, and comparatively abominable. How Lord Krishna, like a magician, created some conception by making a show and giving up his fake body is described in this verse. The purport is that the Supreme Lord accepts, he manifests a form, and he gives up, he unmanifests that form. In other words, he simply makes a show of giving up his body. But after accepting a form, he does not give it up. From this, it should be understood that when the Lord gives up, he becomes unmanifests his form, then the same form remains present in the transcendental realm. If one asks, how can this be understood? The answer is stated herein. Just as a magician creates an impression for people that he has given up his own body by cutting it to pieces, by burning it, or by falling unconscious, though he actually remains in his body and does not die, similarly, the Supreme Lord accepts bodies like Matsya and also gives them up. In other words, he accepts them and simply makes a show of giving them up. Therefore, just as a magician possessing his own body is reality, his giving up that body is illusory. Similarly, that the Lord accepts bodies like Matsya is actually true, and that he gives up such bodies is actually illusory. This is the purport. Just as the Lord gives up his other own incidental bodies, like Matsya, he simply gave up the mundane form by which he diminished the burden of the earth. Therefore, since the entire incident of Lord Krishna's giving up forms is illusory and false, being the Supreme Brahman in the form of a human being, he simply imitates giving up bodies, like ordinary human beings. Yet actually, he does not do so. For since his form is transcendental, beyond the material elements, there is no possibility of his body being destroyed. As stated in the Mahabharata, the 5 gross material elements are not present in the body of Krishna, the Supersoul. The Brihad Vishnu Puran also says, according to the injunctions of the Vedas and Smritis, one who considers that Krishna's body is made of material elements should be rejected. If one sees such a person, he should take bath with his clothes on. Wow, that's heavy. In the Vishnu Sahasranam spoken by the sage Vaishampayan, it is stated, Amrita, or immortality, is only a part of him. Sorry guys, I think I'm going to stand up now. What time is it? It's 8:13, okay, so 15 minutes. I can stand up for 15 minutes. I'm going to unplug my mic. If one sees such a person, my mic's okay? Yeah, okay, great. If one sees such a person, he should take bath with all his clothes on, if they think that Krishna's body is made of material elements. In the Vishnu Sahasranam spoken by the sage Vaishampayan, it is said, Amrita, or immortality, is only a part of him. It is only a part of him, for he is the personification of immortality. Shankaracharya's commentary on this, he whose body is amrita, deathless, indicating a difference between the Lord's body and soul, is not popular. The implication of this verse, the verse 1:15:34 in Śrīmad Bhagavatam, is that the verb ha and the word jahyat is used to indicate giving up, and the act of giving up is used for the purpose of awarding. In order to nourish the devotees from Vaikuntha, Lord Krishna awarded them Krishna awarded them his form of Nārāyaṇ, who is already merged within him. This will be elaborately described at the end of the 11th canto of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. This verse is quoted in order to describe the unreality of Krishna's giving up his body. In other words, to clearly explain its falsity. In this regard, one should discuss the commentary of Sridhar Swami and the Sandarbha commentary of Sri Jivapad. That was all from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Sarartha Darshini. Let me just see, I'm just seeing what I was planning, up to what point I was planning on reading this commentary. One second. Okay, so when we see the word swabimbam, we'll know that this is where we're supposed to stop. Okay. The commentaries on Sri Uddhava's words to Vidura in Śrīmad Bhagavatam 3:11, Adayantar adhadyastu swabimbam lokalochanam, he performed his disappearance by removing his form from the sight of public vision, are as follows. After exhibiting his own form till this point, the Lord disappeared by covering the eyes of the public, because there was no other worthy object of vision. That's from Sridhar Swami. According to the Vedic statement, he is the vision of the eyes. The Lord left the vision of the people with his swabimbam, his own form. It is also described in the Mahabharata Moshala Parva, Kritva Bharavataranam Prithivya Pritulochana Mochayitva Tanum Krishna Prapta Swastanamuttamam. To the eyes of people, after diminishing the burden of the earth, Krishna gave up his form and returned to his supreme abode. In this verse, the word mochayitva, or having given up, indicates that he disassociated his form from the activities of diminishing the burden of the earth. In other words, he allowed his form respite from such engagement. This word is not used to indicate complete freedom from the activities of diminishing the burden of the earth. Okay, that was from the Krama Sandarbha. Then this is from the commentary of Sri Vijayadwaja. The word swabimbam refers to the Satchidananda form of the Lord and his replica. The word tu corroborates the Vedic statement Dve Baba Brahmano Rupe. The Supreme Brahman has two forms. That's also from Vijayadwaja. Now, this is from the Sarartha Darshini of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I think after we read this, that's where we'll end. This verse says that the Lord manifested his own form before the eyes of people and again disappeared with that same form. By this statement, persons who advocate that the Supreme Lord gives up his body with adverse objections like Lord Krishna gave up his own body and disappeared. These statements of such people are defeated from this verse. Since the adjectives used in the next few verses describe the body of the Lord after he left his human form and went to the Yudhishthira's Rajasuya sacrifice in a divine godly form, those who are opposed to the fact that Krishna possesses a human form are also defeated. Moreover, from the statement, he manifests his own form and disappears with the same form,
From that statement, it is understood that his pastimes of appearance and disappearance are the results of his supreme will. Therefore, those who advocate that the Supreme Lord is under the control of karma, or those who consider that the Supreme Lord is under the control of birth and activities such as dying like ordinary living entities, those people are defeated. That's from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Sarada-dashmi. I think that's why I said, that's why I marked to yes. All right. So that's our reading for today. Hare Krishna, Sudevi Didi, and Shasharmaji. How come it says there's only one person watching? I see all these names here. I don't think this is always so accurate. Oh, sorry guys, I was getting a bit sleepy there, and there was so much tattva and a bit of repetition, so I sometimes that makes me fall asleep. So we will finish this commentary tomorrow. Let's see how much is left. See, quite a lot left. A lot left. Oh my God. Oh my God, it doesn't end. Yeah, this is such a long commentary. But it's important to be very clear on how the Lord, on the tattva of the Lord's disappearing. And so we will continue reading that tomorrow. And now, in honor of Sita Ṭhākurani, the Śakti of Advaita-candra, whose appearance day it is today, we will sing Amar Samanahina Nahi E Samsare Astira Hoye Chipuri Bhava. I need to read this commentary also on my own, just so that I have it clear in my head, and then I'll read it more nicely. Amar Samanahina. I'm gonna plug my mic back in. Is it 2 words? There. There. Okay. Okay. One second, I just need to make sure that there. Now you'll be able to hear the mridanga. So this is written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There is no one in this world as wretched as I am. Having fallen into the vast ocean of material existence, I have become most agitated. O Yogamaya, O worshipful goddess of the Vaishnavas, O mother of the universe, when will you bestow your mercy and lift your veil of Mahamaya? I have heard your glories from the Vedic literatures. You bind the souls who are averse to Krishna, and you make them engage in worldly life. To that person who, through the gradual dawning of good fortune, develops a favorable disposition towards Sri Krishna, you grant liberation and make him free from lamentation and fear. O Mother, please show your causeless mercy to this servant, and grant me shelter in Vrindavan, for you are Yogamaya herself. By disregarding you, how can the jivas attain Sri Krishna? Krishna manifested his Raslila pastimes only by your mercy. You are an eternal companion of Sri Krishna and the mother of the universe. You have shown me the transcendental wish-fulfilling jewel of Krishna consciousness. O my mother, please glance upon me without reservation, so that my faith in the Vaishnavas may increase at every moment. I love that verse. And actually, I kind of understand it like this. Nishkapat. Kapat means to be duplicitous, right? Like you appear externally in one way, but internally there's something else happening. There's duplicity. And so I like thinking of it as like, don't be duplicitous with me, O Yogamaya. Don't show your form as Mahamaya to me. I want your internal form, your who you really are, Yogamaya. Please be like that towards me. And I mean, that's just how I've always understood it. So that my Vishwas, my faith in the Vaishnavas, will always increase. Pratikkhane, at every moment. Without taking shelter of the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, Bhaktivinoda is not able to cross the ocean of material existence. Okay. We'll sing this together. And while we're singing this, we can pray the Sita Ṭhākurani. Oh, Hare Krishna, Shubhananda Prabhu. Okay. Ayamara samana hina nahi sangsare astira hoye chipori bhava para pare kula devi yoga maya more kripa kori avarana sambaribe kabe vishwadari shune chiya game vede mahima tomar Shri Krishna vimukhe bandi korao sangsar Shri Krishna samukhya jan bhagya krame hoy atare mukti diya koro ashokaya bhai edase janani kori akaitava doya vrindavane dehosthan tumi yoga maya tomare langiya kotha jive Krishna pai Krishna rasa prakatilo tomar kripai tumi Krishna anuchari jagata janani tumi dekhai de more Krishna chintamani nishkapata hoye mata chao mora pane Vaishnava vishvasa vriddhi ho pratikhane Vaishnava charana bina bhava para bara bhakti vinara nare hoi bare par amara samana hina nahi sansare astira hoye chi puri bhava para bare kula devi yoga maya more kripa kori kula devi yoga maya more kripa kori avarana sambaribe kabe vishwadori avarana sambaribe kabe vishwadori Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Sita Ṭhākurani Jaya Sita Ṭhākurani Jaya Sita Ṭhākurani Jaya Advaita Shakti Jaya Sita Ṭhākurani Advaita Shakti Jaya Sita Ṭhākurani Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sita Ṭhākurani ki Jai, Shri Yogamaya Purnamasi Devi ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Also, another thing I was just noticing when we were singing this, it says Akaitava Doya. So please give me your non-cheating mercy. But it wasn't translated like that. I think I might change the translation. I'll have to check this. Here it says your causeless mercy, your akaitava doya. But akaitava, let me just look up that word in the dictionary. Akaitava. Oops, I have it in Hindi. One second, I need to change it in Bengali. What is it? Kaitav. No. Yeah, there. Kaitav. So, akaitav means sincere, candid, frank, right, unaffected, undeceitful. That's more what I was looking at. Undeceitful mercy. Don't deceive me. Because kaitav means fraud, deceit, falsehood, craftiness, swindling, play at dice, gambling, so fraud, deceit. And akaitav is the opposite of that. So please don't deceive me by giving your mercy as Mahamaya. I want your mercy of you, Yogamaya, not your like that. And then the same thing here. Nishkapat hoye. Please be nishkapat with me. And give me faith increase my faith, so that my faith in the Vaishnavas will always increase. Because without taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas, Bhakti-Vinod is not able to cross the ocean of material existence. We cannot cross over Maya, Mahamaya, without the mercy of the Vaishnavas. So please, Yogamaya, please increase my faith in the Vaishnavas at every moment. Yeah, Kishore and Niri Hari Prabhu are very much appreciating this song. Yes, it's such a beautiful song, I really like. Okay. So I'll do Jaidwani, and then if Kishore Prabhu or anybody has anything else, Nari Hari Prabhu, anybody here has anything to share, then please do. And if not, then yeah, that's totally fine. But I'll first do Jaidwani. Jai Shishi Guru Gaṅgā Gandhaya Vika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju. Actually, no, Kishore, you do Jaidwani.
Sure. Jai Sabrikar Shishi Guru Gauranga Ganharika Giridhari Radha Vinod Bihari Radha Nainath Radha Raman Bihari Radha Madhava Shishi Radha Krishna Jiv Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Paramaham Sabri Vrajagacharya Varya Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Paramaham Sabri Vrajagacharya Varya Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vedanta Shala Nārāyaṇ Goswami Maharaj Parit Pavan Shila Gurudev Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Balabhatirtha Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vedanta Swami Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Dvaita Madhav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Natyalela Pravishtam Vishnu Par Stotrashta Shishiman Jagar Guru Shri Varshabhana Vidaita Das Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Sabrika Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Mahaparam Bhagavad Paravar Paramahams Shila Gaur Kishore Das Babji Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Saptam Goswami Shila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahashai Ki Jai.
Jai.
Vaishnav Sarvoma Shila Jagannath Das Babji Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Parvirana Acharya Shil Baladev Vidibhushan Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Mahamahubadadhyaya Raskashyaramani Shila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur Par Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shila Rasikanand Marari Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shila Ramachandra Kaviraj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shila Chandas Thakur Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shila Narottam Das Srinivas Hasacharya Shamananda Pandit Prabhutrai Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Vyasapatar Arka Vishal Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai.
Jai.
Ashtakaviraj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Vasudha Janava Ki Jai.
Jai.
Nityananda Durasha Gopal Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Chaushati Mahant Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattara Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Sarup Damodara Yanamanda Lokanath Bhagarpa Adhikor Parishad Vrind Ki Jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Gurudev Śrī Advaita-candra Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Mahavishnu Sarashiv Avatar Bhakta Avatar Kamalaksha Shantipur Nayak Sita Prananath Śrī Advaita-candra Thakur Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Advaita Shakti Śrīmati Sita Ṭhākurani Ki Jai.
Jai.
Advaita Shakti Śrī Ṭhākurani Ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Sita Advaita Roy Ki Jai.
Jai.
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। चल ईश्वरपुरी गोस्वामी पाद की जय। चल मारविंदरपुरी गोस्वामी पाद की जय। श्री अंडरद्वीप मायपुर समनद्वीप गौतमद्वीप मध्याद्वीप कलुद्वीप ऋतुद्वीप जानुद्वीप मातृ दुर्माद्वीप रुद्राद्वीप मात्मकाशी नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री एक चक्र धाम की जय। श्री शांतिपुर धाम की जय। श्री गौरचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण कविनाथ कभी कभी कहो गिरि गोविदान वर्षान माँ श्री ब्रज मंडल धाम की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंग सखी मन सखी तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। वृषभान नंदिनी श्रीमती राधा रानी ठाकुरानी की जय। श्री ललिता विशाखा चित्रा चंपकला तुंग विद्या इंदुलेखा रंग देवी सुदेवी हरि सखी वृंद की जय। श्री आनंग प्रेम मंजलाल श्री रूप लवंगा राग विलास गुण रति कस्तूरी अरिमंजारी वृंद की जय। श्री कमल मंजरी की जय। श्री नयन मणि मंजरी की जय।
Jai.
श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय।
Jai.
श्री भगवती पूर्णमासी योगमाया देवी की जय।
Jai.
श्री गोपीश्वर श्री महादेव की जय।
Jai.
श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र नीलमार्ग जीव की जय।
Jai.
श्री जगन्नाथपुरी पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र मंडल नीलाचल धाम की जय।
Jai.
सर्वा विक्रामिर शंकर भक्त विक्रामिनाश सुरेंद्र सिंह देव की जय।
Jai.
भक्तराज भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
Jai.
श्री बला लक्ष्मेंद्र सिंह देव की जय।
Jai.
श्री चरिधाम चरि संप्रदाय चर्याचार्य की जय।
Jai.
श्री मध्वार मनुज विष्णु स्वामी नंबित्य चर्याचार्य की जय।
Jai.
अकर मतरा श्री चैतन्य मान की जय।
Jai.
श्री गौरी मान वृंद की जय।
Jai.
रंध्राश्री मार भगवताम भगवद गीता चैतन्य चरितामृत चैतन्य भगवत श्री जैव धर्म आदि सर्व गौरी वैष्णव ग्रंथ वृंद की जय।
Jai.
श्री भुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय।
Jai.
श्री भुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन युग धर्म की जय।
Jai.
श्री भुवन मंगल धन्य कलयुग तर्क ब्रह्म श्री हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे महामंत्र की जय।
Jai.
श्री आनंद गुरु वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री समगढ़ गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai.
श्री गौ नारायण लक्ष्मी प्रिय विष्णु प्रिय की जय।
Jai.
श्री योग विद्याम की जय।
Jai.
श्री सची माता की जय।
Jai.
श्री जगन्नाथ मिश्र प्रभु की जय।
Jai.
चलो वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय।
Jai.
चलो भक्ति श्रांत सरस्वती प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
चलो श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय।
Jai.
चलो प्रभुपाद गौरी वश्य की जय।
Jai.
श्री ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
Hari Hari Bo Vrindai Tulsidevai Priyaya Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Dandava Pranams everybody. Hare Krishna. I just found you know that website ISKCON Desire Tree? They have a whole ton of stuff about Sita Ṭhākurani. Like 4 different biographies. I'll just show you on my screen here. Here. No, that's not it. See, look. They have this one. There's this one. It's the video of somebody speaking about Sita Ṭhākurani. And there's biography number 2. And then biography number, that's a long one, biography number 3, and then biography number 4, and then I think there's even a 5th thing. No, then there's audio, and yeah, oh, and then another thing. Yeah, there's a 5th thing here. Let's see. Anyways, yeah, just interesting. There's a lot of content about her I didn't realize. But anyhow, so if anybody wants that, I'm just sharing the link in here on Zoom. I shared it in the chat on Zoom, and I also shared it on Facebook, in the Facebook comments. But it's not letting me share on. Sorry, I shared it on YouTube comments, but it's not letting me share on Facebook for some reason. But yeah, if anybody wants to read a lot about Sita Ṭhākurani, then you can check that out. But yeah, Kishore Prabhu or anybody else in the Hari Prabhu, anybody have anything that they want to say about Sita Ṭhākurani?
All I can really think of is what you've mentioned already, that Sita Ṭhākurani, she took permission from Advaita Prabhu on Gurpurnim, and she came to see baby Nimai, and she was struck with wonder seeing the baby Nimai, and she remarked, he looks exactly like Lord Krishna, the only difference is in color. And then she brought out various gifts, tiger nails set in gold, and all various things that were described in Nārāyaṇ Giri, that song. And then that time when Advaita Prabhu, this was many years later, when Advaita Prabhu, he was feeling, oh Mahaprabhu, he's always honoring me as a senior, but I'm not happy like that. I'm Mahaprabhu's servant. I am Lord Shiva, and I'm Vishnu. I'm Mahaprabhu's servant. So how to get Mahaprabhu to chastise me? So he started speaking Mayavad philosophy from Bhagavad Gita. And then Mahaprabhu heard this and was like, what? Advaita is speaking Mayavad philosophy? And immediately he ran and he went to go chastise Advaita Prabhu. And he started beating Advaita Prabhu. And Sita Ṭhākurani came out and said, you're going to kill that old man.
Yes. Yeah, because Advaita Acharya is the one who brought Mahaprabhu here. So it's like, after bringing me to this material world, and then you're doing what? It's like the most outrageous thing. And then what happened afterwards? Advaita Acharya, what did he say afterwards?
Oh, Advaita Acharya afterwards, he said, you have to remind me what the exact words were.
I don't remember exactly either.
Advaita Prabhu said, like, okay, now we see who is the master and who is the servant.
Yeah. Yes.
Said something along those lines, and then Mahaprabhu got embarrassed because Advaita Prabhu showed them, okay, now we see who's the servant and who's the master.
So Mahaprabhu was defeated by Advaita Acharya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole song reminded me of Shakti Tattva in general, and how, Sita Ṭhākurani is Purnamasi Devi and Parvati Devi as well. Reminded me of, I remember about a year ago or more, I asked Shripad Budayan Maharaj a question, and it was, is Subhadra Devi Yogamaya? And Maharaj said, Subhadra is Bhakti Devi. Okay, but is she Yogamaya? Yogamaya is Bhakti Devi. It's clear or not clear? Like, no, not really clear. And Maharaj said, okay, our philosophy is very simple. We make it complicated. So all the different goddesses, they're all incarnations of Radharani. And then he quoted Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song, Uma, Rama, Satya, Chandra, and Rukmini. And he started naming them. Uma, Parvati Devi, Shachi, Indra's wife, Rukmini Devi, Chandra, Chandravali, everything. And then he went on saying that we're not against Shakti Tattva. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was coming in a Shakta family. And then Maharaj said, I'm also coming from a Shakta family. There's one deity, one family deity of Durga. I never reject. I go over there and I offer pranam and I worship her. But I stopped their animal sacrifices. That's what he said. I stopped their animal sacrifices though. Oh, and it's a long tradition. It's a 400-year-old tradition, very hard to break. So I was talking with everyone there, all the villagers, not everyone, like 50, 60 people. And I used logic, like, come on. Kalima is, she's universal mother. Mother Kali is the universal mother. So everyone here, all these jivas, they're her children. So if you go in front of a mother and you slap her child or you kill her child, what are you going to do? And then Maharaj used himself as an example. If I come to you and I kill your child, how do you feel about me? And they said, well, we'll think that you're crazy and try to put you in jail. And see? So similarly, why are you going to kill this goat? Not for Mother Kali. She doesn't want that. And they said, well, this is tradition. What to do? What should we do? It's like, well, I'll tell you what to do. Just go and get the money, whatever money you use to kill the goat, and you go and make some sweets. And then you make some sweets and you offer them to Mother Kali. Okay, but what if somebody dies and is in the family? What if obstacles come? What do we do then? Who will take the responsibility? And Maharaj told them in front of them, I will take the responsibility.
I have a story from. Oh, sorry, you were going to say something.
No, you go.
Yeah, Achyutananda Prabhu with Maharaj. It was in '67. Prabhupada took him to India, and he stayed at Saraswati Mat with Bhakti Rakshar Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. But in one of the visits Calcutta with Srila Prabhupada, the two of them, Prabhupada, there was as they walked, they went by the temple of a very important temple of Durgaji, and Prabhupada paid full dandavats, but the way he did it is with his right side of his body towards the deity, whereas when we do for pranams for pranams for Radha Krishna or Vishnu Tattva, is with our left. So, but he knew Achyutananda Prabhu knows the mantra, but Prabhupada recited the mantra and paid dandavats. So, yes.
I think it's in Archan Dipika that with Shakti Tattva you face your other side, and Vishnu Tattva you face your left side.
Yes.
And with Guru you face directly.
Right.
Except for Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj said that when Guru enters Nitya Lila, then you can also face your left side like you do with Thakurji.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I had that question. Like there's this verse and it says that we're supposed to offer pranam to Guru directly. So why do we see devotees all the time like in Gurudev Samadhi they'll offer pranam like on the side like that?
Right.
And, yeah, Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami says it when it entered Nitya Lila. I remember hearing that. I didn't hear that from him directly, I don't think. Maybe I did, I can't remember, but yeah. Yeah, and I really like that those two verses of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Was it one is Edasi Janani Kori Akaitava Doya. Please give me your Akaitava Doya, your non-deceitful mercy, and also Nishkapata Hoye Mata Chao Modapane. Please be Nishkapat with me. Don't trick me. Please be yourself as Yogamaya. I don't want your mercy as Mahamaya. I only want your mercy as Yogamaya.
Yes.
So we can always pray that whenever we come. And our prayer, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is showing us, what do we pray to Yogamaya for? That our faith in the Vaishnavas always increases at every moment.
Yeah, that's a wonderful, wonderful verse. I like it. And, Narendra Modi just, he's gone to all this, reviving all these pilgrimage places. And I was just watching something that he, there's a huge temple in South India for, it's like Krishna lying down. And they said, oh, this is, the body he left. So this purport is so important because that, it shows that, the materialist, the thing, oh, Krishna left the body, it's like, so it's led to confusion. So I think this purport is very, very important. It's Siddhantic, it's thick, yeah. But I think it's essential too.
Yeah, I mean, it's so long. I think it's the longest purport I've ever come across yet in all of our readings. Because it's going to be 2 full days of just reading one purport. I remember there's one time we read a really long purport, but this is going to be like 2 full days of reading one purport. That's probably the biggest ever, like in any of the books so far, that I can remember.
In Prabhupada's, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, when Prabhupada's describing or Krishna's describing the universal form and everything, afterwards, after Arjuna sees all of that, he says, okay, now my Lord, now show me your four-armed form. And then Krishna reveals his four-armed form. And Prabhupada said, this is proof that Krishna is Bhagavan. He showed his universal form, and then he showed his four-armed form. The reason I'm mentioning this is because some Indians in India, they say, oh, it wasn't really Krishna who spoke Bhagavad Gita, it was the spirit of Bhagavan or Brahman coming through Krishna. They say like that. That's why in Shastra it's now written Krishna Uvacha. That's why it was written Bhagavan Uvacha. But Prabhupada says no. Krishna came, showed the universal form, and then he showed his four-armed form, Nārāyaṇ, Chaturbush Mahavishnu Nārāyaṇ. That's Krishna. And then he revealed his two-armed form afterwards to Arjuna.
Which is, he said, this is very rare to attain and see. Braja Krishna.
Yeah. I don't think he showed Braj Krishna. It was just Dwarkadish, Devaki, Nandan, Vasudeva at that time. To our informed there. From Bhagavad Gita, I'm speaking.
I like very much Siddhanti Maharaj has a thing about the verse, to those who worship him with faith and devotion, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. He said, what do you mean? I mean, they were already worshiping Krishna. They were, come to me, what is that me? So he explains it's the me of Braja, is Krishna, the original Swayam Bhagavan.
Wow.
Is it a nice explanation of that verse? I never heard it before.
Yeah, I think Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj has, and Param Gurudev, they explain, how does that verse go? Tushanti cha ramananti cha, that's the last line. Anyways,
I think
they
it was
explain
like Kesham Yuktanam, something like that.
They explain it in a very rasik way also.
Yes.
Like that. About referring specifically to Vrajendra Nandan Krishna. But like, yeah, it's a hidden meaning.
Oh, if we're on the topic of Bhagavad Gita, I just heard a class yesterday by one nice sannyasi, and he was saying that a friend of his has talked to him about about the last sentence of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, and he read it out loud. I'll just read the couple of verses before that. The living entity in his original position is pure spirit. He is just like an atomic particle of the Supreme Spirit. The conditioned living entity, however, is the marginal energy of the Lord. He tends to be in contact with both the material energy and the spiritual energy. In other words, the living entity is situated between the two energies of the Lord. And because as he belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, he has a particle of independence. By proper use of that independence, he comes under the direct order of Krishna. Thus, he attains his normal condition in the pleasure-giving potency. In the pleasure-giving potency. And the sannyasi I was watching yesterday, he said, my friend, he showed this to me, and he was saying pleasure-giving potency. This means Krishna, when the jiva uses his independence properly and comes under Krishna's order, he goes and he serves under the pleasure-giving potency, the Ladini Shakti, Śrīmati Radharani. So he was saying that in the last sentence of Srila Prabhupada's purport and commentary to Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is saying that when the jiva uses his proper independence and comes under Krishna's order, he will serve Radharani.
Yes.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it's so funny. I'm trying to remember. I saw that too. Prabhupada's purport of Śrīmad Bhagavatam, the original, the old Śrīmad Bhagavatams. Like that, Prabhupada talks about that, taking shelter of the internal, the pleasure potency. We're under shelter of course, it's Gaudiya Vaishnava. Gaudiya meaning, we know, it's worshiping of Radharani.
I have to give credit. This is too good. I have to give credit to the sannyasis.
Yeah.
Both of their names are Sadhu Maharaj.
Oh, far nice.
One is Sadhu Maharaj from Austria. The other is Sadhu Maharaj from India.
And Radhashtami is just coming up. What is it? 4 days from now. 23 September. And so once we finish this this chapter, which I think we'll finish it tomorrow. I don't know. I have to look at the thing. We'll finish it soon. Then we'll just start Radharani Katha.
Chai.
Guy.
Radharani's willing. Yes.
Oh no! Finish your sentence, bro.
Oh no! I said that Radharani's willing. I got the ticket, and I'll be arriving the 22nd in Vrindavan.
Oh, Jai Ho! That's so nice.
Jai Radhe. Oh, I was just gonna ask you, Prabhu, if you could repeat what Prabhupada said in the Śrīmad Bhagavatam, what you were saying.
It was pretty much what you said. I don't verbatim, I don't remember, but it talks about taking shelter that ultimate devotees are under protection and they take shelter of the pleasure potency, the internal, the Haladini Shakti. He doesn't mention as Haladini Shakti, but he talks, like you were saying, under guidance of the
Pleasure-giving potency.
Pleasure-giving potency. I said, wow, that's Prabhupada's talking about Radharani.
All right. All right. So, is that everything? If anybody has anything else they want to say, then otherwise, I'll end it for now, and then we'll see each other tomorrow. All right. So, Dandavat Pranams. That was a really wonderful discussion, and yeah, see you all tomorrow. To we'll finish. I have to look at the schedule. I think we'll be finishing up this chapter though. So, right, Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Dandavat Pranams, Hare Krishna.
Pranams and Hare Prabhu.
And Jai Shri Radha.
Dandavat Kishoriji and all devotees.
Dandavat Prabhu. Dandavat all Vaishnavas. Jai Radhe.
Jai Ho.
Jai Radha.